Okay, the observation is that the directors, in order to use this technique of interrogation, have to be facile at improvisation. That's true. That's kind of required. You need to develop that skill. And the question is, what if you don't have that skill? What if you have never had any acting training or things like that, or you've never done this? Now, to be quite honest, most directors have not done that. Most directors do not have those skills. They don't. They don't have that experience. But that doesn't mean they can't learn it. One of the things I encourage a lot of directors to do is take an acting class. And to some directors, sadly, that's a frightening idea. Why would I want to do that? I said, because you can learn more about the world of acting. You can learn what actors have to go through. You can learn the challenges that actors have to be. You don't have to become an actor, or especially a great actor or a good actor, but to have the experience of working with professional actors in a workshop or something like that is invaluable. And take improvisation classes. Learn how to improvise. You can do that. If you can learn how to handle cameras and lightings and scheduling and editing systems and composers and production designers and all that other stuff that you have to handle, and so you can make a movie, you can certainly learn how to improvise. Improvise is something that you do every single day. Every conversation you're in, you're improvising, you're making up, you're saying whatever comes to your mind. You are capable of doing that. The thing is that theatrical improvisation is under more pressure, that's all. And you're dealing with somebody else who is also improvising. And you have to listen. You have to learn the basics of improvisation. You can do that. You owe it to yourself to do that. You owe it to your actors to be able to do that. It's a great gift that you can give to your actors to say, and when you start improvising, when the moment they realize that you want to play in the sandbox, when you want to play their character to your interrogator, they are thrilled because now you're in their territory. Now you're playing with them. Now you're collaborating with them. Truly collaborating. That is collaboration at its peak. Playing together, not knowing where it's going, not knowing what you're going to say, not knowing what the other is going to say, and knowing that what comes out of this, nothing is wrong. Nothing is bad. No harm will ever be done. Learn interrogation and learn improvisation. You can do it. Another great question Elsha's throwing out at me. The question is, first of all, the statement is how much pressure directors are under anyway, and how difficult the job is directing anything, whether it's just a commercial or a television or feature film or a play. There's a lot of pressure. And part of the question could be, why would anybody want all that pressure? But that's not the question. The question is, with all that pressure, and especially for directors who are working, who are getting the TV episodes or the TV movies or the feature films or the plays that they wanted, they are working. Why would they want to spend the time to learn something new, like this interrogation process, especially if it requires learning how to improvise, developing improvisational skills? Why would they want to do that? Why not just keep going on the way they're going and just keep doing the work that they're doing and be happy with it? And I would say to a lot of you directors that are thinking that way, fine. Do that. You don't have to learn this. You don't have to learn these techniques. You can just keep getting the jobs you get, taking the job you do, doing the job you did. And a lot of you, quite honestly, I know this is true, are doing a really good job. So why would you want to take on something new like this? Why? Except that the quality of your work at the key center of your story will go up. The quality of the performances, the qualities of the characters, the depths of the characters, the authenticity of the characters. That's primarily what we're talking about here. Primarily, that's the zone that we're working in. At the center of your story are these characters who are involved in whatever the struggles they're involved in, whatever turmoil, whatever aspirations, whatever challenges that they're facing. That's who we're following. We're following them. All the other stuff is window dressing. All the other stuff is a support system for these characters who are going through these challenges in their lives. And if you can do something to help bring more authentic performances, more authentic behavior to these characters, the quality of your work as a director will go up. And there's something else, another benefit you will get if you do this, if you take on this challenge and you learn these techniques and you start applying these techniques, you will suddenly become known as an actor's director. Now, an actor's director is a very, very, very high label you can earn, where actors want to work with you. They have heard, they have seen, besides, forget being heard, they have seen your work. Wow, I want to work with that director. They have heard from other actors that have worked with you. Wow, I want to work with him. He is actually raising the level of our work. Actors want to work with directors who know how to raise the level of their work, the quality of their work. That's what they want. Not directors who are going to bring them down, not directors who are going to put them in boxes and make demands on them, but directors who are going to stimulate them in an exciting way that allows the best of the actors to come out. That's who they want. So these are your benefits. These are your choices at this time in your career, wherever you are, whether you're at the beginning or near the end or whatever. Think about it. What do you want to do? What do you want to add to your plate to make your work better, to make your work more pleasurable for you, to make the quality of your performances go up, and to actually be seen as an actor's director in the eyes of all those actors out there? Think about it. Your choice. What is the minimum requirement that for a director to start utilizing some of these tools and techniques? Minimum requirement. It's a great question because when we work with directors in workshops, and sometimes 5-day workshops, 10-day workshops that we do, and consult with them, they learn a lot. They learn a lot of the techniques, but a lot of directors, just like the people who watched this webinar in Sweden, just saw it for a moment, really didn't get a lot of instructions in it, and are wondering, which I understand, can I do it just a little bit? What little thing can I do just to get started? Hold on 1 second. The first key, and it's a big key, it's the easiest key. I mentioned this earlier in another question. First key is, in your mind, just think, shift from the actor to the character. Now, I'm not even going to talk about the casting process or anything like that, but you're just working with an actor, you're already cast, and you want to make that shift. Just making that shift is a huge step. Saying to the actor, can I talk to the character? The actor says yes, and you start talking to the character. Now, actually, no matter what you say to the character, you've already made the big shift. You could say anything. Can I talk to the character? Yes, you can. And you can say to the character, how long have you been waiting here? Now, you can, at the beginning, if you want to, just before you start talking to the character, you could say to the actor, I'm going to talk to the character just before this scene happens. Let's say it's a scene you're shooting that day. I'll go, great. So you say to the character, how long have you been waiting here? Oh, I've been waiting about an hour. Really? About an hour? That's kind of a long time to wait. Is the line really that long or that slow? What's going on? Well, yeah, it seems to be so. Well, what are you here for? Now, all I'm doing is really interviewing the character. And I could ask some of the simplest questions. What are you doing here? What do you want? What's the problem? Do you think you could come in at another time? Or whatever it is, the situation that they're in. Just talking to the character about the situation they're in, the condition they're in at that moment, identifying what it is and identifying how they feel about it and what they would really like to do and what they wish they could have done, something like that. Just if that's all you do, you've done a lot, because you've added something to the character's plate that the actor didn't have before. The character is now thinking about these things and answering these things and is responding to you about his or her condition at that moment. That's where you can start. And if you're doing a scene, let's say there's 4 or 5 people, and you do that to all 4 or 5 people, just one at a time, you've done a lot. You have started. You have made that transition. You've made the leap from traditional directing into what's called the Travis technique. You have made that leap. You've moved over, and you have brought the actors with you. Now all the actors are there. In fact, getting back to this man waiting in line, it's not a real scene. I'm just making it up. But he's waiting in line. He said, how long have you been there? Let's say there's someone waiting behind him, an extra waiting behind him. And you've talked to him, and he says, well, how, you ask these questions, how long you've been there, and what are you waiting for, what are you going to do, what are you going to do, right? And then you turn to the person behind him, how long have you been waiting in line? A long time. Well, the two of you figure out how long this is going to be. Now you have 2 characters, even one of them's an extra, talking to each other. You've kept them in character. Huge difference. That's where you can start. If that's all you do, it'll make a world of difference. I know a lot of directors I've worked with, sometimes that's all they have time to do. Just a few quick questions, a little interview with a character to get them into a mindset, and that's it. None of the high technique stuff of interrogation and simultaneous monologue, which is really intended for the rehearsal process. But on the production day, you can do a little bit and it'll make a huge difference. Try it out.